Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Vibing with Sleezy, the podcast. This is season 4, episode 6. This will be my shortest episode I've ever done for the show. This episode needs to happen, and it needed to happen. And I'm posting this and doing this show on Thursday, June 1st, because it's Sean Patrick O'Brien's birthday. Sean Patrick O'Brien, aka Sean P, aka Referee Man Bun, many nicknames, many things known about him. He actually tragically passed away on March 17th of this year. He was a frequent guest on the show multiple times. He was a supporter of the show, and he was a dear friend and just a great human being overall. Many things have been done for Sean since he's passed, dedications, of course, the funeral, and of course, many things have been said online. He's been inducted into the Hall of Fame for one of the wrestling organizations. I mean, he was a legend in the wrestling industry in his own right, a legend in the local music scene in his own right. And he just was an incredible human being, and he just really made an impact on everyone he was around. I mean, you could just tell after he did pass how many people just had so much positive things to say. He just every time I was around him, I loved being around him. His vibe was cool. He's laid back, supportive, and always fun to talk to. We would have deep conversations about wrestling off air, recording on the podcast, and we always had great talks about it. He was always in the loop. I was always in the loop. So we always had a great conversation about wrestling. He was a pro wrestling referee for the people who didn't know. And he actually refereed for many wrestling organizations and traveled all over. I mean, he was all over the United States, big in Indiana, big in Kentucky, of course, going up north, New Jersey areas. I mean, he was really making it and doing it, and I was just so proud of him. And he was my first guest on the show. That's another thing. He was the first guest on Bible with Sleazy, the podcast. I had to have him. He's the perfect podcast guest. He's been on so many podcasts. That's what makes me so happy because he's been able to share his voice. He's been able to be on the show, on all these shows, and share his stories, share his insights on wrestling, life, everything. And so I'm so happy to know that he has podcasts all over that people get to listen to and keep his legacy alive. He has a legacy. I mean, he is a legend. I'm telling you, the man was talented. Um, and so not only did he wrestle, he was a hell of a singer. He actually had a couple songs that were fucking incredible. And when you heard him sing them, they just they blew you out of the water. I mean, and he hosted a lot of the talent nights here in Louisville. They would call it the Louisville Vibe, I believe, and he was always, you know, just there supporting local people, supporting local artists. He'd also get on the mic and sing. And I remember he always reach out and invite me. I wish I went more. But you know, I'm just thankful in general just to know him. I mean, I love the man to death. He was a great dear friend. We got really close the past year just with my podcast and with his wrestling career. He always sent me videos and clips of crazy things that happened because he would referee on the death match scene, and that always can be hardcore. So we just always share things, and I'd share things about wrestling I have coming up for the podcast, and I don't know, it's just he's just a good guy, and he cared, and he also was a father, and hell of a father, loved his kid, and he he was just a great guy. And I've done things for people on this show that have passed away, and I had to do this for Sean. I mean, this was needed. This was this had to happen. And like I said, people listen that didn't know Sean, you might be like, oh, this isn't the best episode, or this is short, or this is sad. Like, it, show respect, show some love, because this man deserves it, and he deserves much more than just an episode. But I just can't thank him enough, and I had to dedicate this one to him. I want to read his obituary, and just pretty much just share who he was. Sean Patrick O'Brien, 34, of Jeffersonville, Indiana, passed away unexpectedly at 10:10 p.m. on Friday, March 17, 2023, Norton Audubon in Louisville, Kentucky. Sean was born on Thursday, October 6, 1988, in St. Louis, Missouri, to Patrick Gerald and Jennifer O'Brien. Patrick preceded him in death on March 2nd, 1992. He was raised in Kentucky, Indiana, by his parents, William and Jennifer Cruz, who survived in Jeffersonville, Indiana, along with his three siblings. Sean was a 2007 Jeffersonville High School graduate. He attended Indiana University Southeast, where he was part of the Tau Kappa Epsilon TKE fraternity, whose motto is "Better Men for a Better World." He loved socializing with all his fraternity brothers and friends. He was a professional traveling referee, which he thoroughly enjoyed and loved. Refereeing had been such a passion for many years. He started out volunteering and said, "One day I will get paid for this." His mission was accomplished. He refereed at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling Academy, Vicious Outcast Wrestling, Glory Pro Wrestling, Black Label Pro, Unsanctioned Pro, and Paradigm Pro Wrestling. And I apologize reading the obituary if I butchered any words or sayings or names. It's no disrespect. I'm doing the best. These are some crazy words. He was a singer, songwriter, and extremely talented vocalist, and liked all genres of music. Sean is survived by his parents, William and Jennifer Cruz, daughter Jennifer Jean Louise O'Brien, aka JJ, stepdaughter Madison Mankin, and their mother Jelana Mole of all of Jefferson, Indiana, brother James Jared O'Brien of Clarksville, Indiana, sister Heather McLean of Clarkston, Kentucky, brother Alan Cruz of Jefferson, Indiana, maternal grandmother Belma Hall, Coomer of Scottsburg, Indiana, paternal grandmother Eileen Cruz of Allensmore, Missouri, uncles and aunts, Arville Hall of Austin, Indiana, Michael Bryan, Don Niedringenhaus, Connie Uhillis, Janice Skewin, Jim O'Brien, Alan Afsar, John Cruz, Gina King, niece, Lakin McLean, his significant other, Crystal Mose, and her daughter, Alexa Garcia, as well as many loving cousins and friends. Sean loved his daughter, family, and friends wholeheartedly, and that's 100% true. He did. Sean was preceded in death by his father, Patrick Gerald O'Brien, maternal grandfather, William Bill Hall, paternal grandparents, Shirley and Paul Barton, and paternal grandfather, Noah B. Cruz. Longtime friend Terrence Williams will conduct funeral service at noon, and this actually was on March 23rd, 2023. And then his burial was to follow in Austin Cemetery in Austin, Indiana. So this happened back in March. Family and friends, all did come out, and there was memorials and donations made. I know that there's ways to definitely reach out to me if you want to donate anything to his family and his memory or anything. He also had t-shirts. People were actually producing his t-shirts with his logo. Referee Man Bun was his signature trademark. If you go to prowrestlingtees.com, they actually have his t-shirt and you can buy it there. He has royalty rights there. But also if you can find it locally, it is posted on his social medias and stuff. So definitely try to get in touch to get a t-shirt, support his family, anything to happen to, or anything to help a family member in this time. I'm usually really smooth and very fast-witted, and but it's just, this is a very emotional episode to do, and I'm really trying to keep a straight face and words on everything, and just just get the point across that this man was a legend, and I love him, and I can't thank him enough for everything he did for the show. He was an incredible human, and he has a legacy. Look for his wrestling matches, watch him. He was always involved. Um, you know, look out for his singing, look up anything on YouTube, just keep the Sean Patrick O'Brien name alive. And just know this man was a legend, and you know, he's truly missed. We love you, Sean Patrick O'Brien. Rest in peace, brother.